TWN podcast.
It was time to bring the stars out on NXT in the NXT main event. The main event was, of course, Matt Riddle versus Timothy Thatcher in something. I don't even know how to describe what that thing was, George. George, what was it? I don't get it.
It was like the Lion's Den had a baby with a cage.
No, like, what's the Lion's Den?
The Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman match from 1998, I think.
Yeah, that would be why, because I started watching wrestling in 1999 and I'm not much of a historian.
Let me just Google that to make sure I've got the right year.
Yeah.
The Lions Den match was...
Also, I say I started in 1999, but I started in 1999. My mum and dad did some reading sources.
Yeah. Sorry, 1998, Owen Hart versus Ken Shamrock in SummerSlam was, I think, the first one.
Yeah, so like I wasn't watching pay-per-views either. I was just watching Heat on 4, and my parents did some reading and decided that I wouldn't watch it alongside South Park and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Love that.
So yeah, I'm pretty obsessive about South Park now, and I haven't gotten around to watching Buffy, but I've read a lot about it myself. So yeah, I can have a chat with Buffy and most people that like it. So you know what? We don't need to know.
What was your opinion on this match, Mr. Joe?
On this match? Well, like,
yes.
Firstly, just reading off. Why have Angle as a guest ref if he wasn't going to suplex anybody?
I mean, I don't think he's going to risk it because Matt Riddle's likeable. Why would you want to suplex Matt Riddle? And Timothy Thatcher would probably bite your ear off.
I know, but like, I'm saying, not in character. Why would you have Kurt Angle come in specially to be the special guest referee for this match if you're not going to have Kurt Angle do Kurt Angle things? He's
a mat-based wrestler. The other two are mat-based wrestlers. They felt sorry for firing him. There you go.
I mean, yeah, but like, you get what I mean. Like Drake is perfectly fine ref for this, right?
Yeah, I'd say there was two refs. There was two extra refs, wasn't there? One on top and one on the side.
Yeah, Drake was one of them. But like, Drake
and the other horrifically tanned one.
Yeah, Drake is the heavy tanned one, isn't he?
Yeah, no. Isn't there another one that wears a lot of fake tan?
Oh yeah, there is. You're right. I forgot about that guy. The guy with a bit of a baby face.
Yes, him.
Right, but yeah, like I thought this match was like the beginning of it was just a little bit, and then it's not really my like. Riddle started out hot. That was good. That's fine. When Thatcher was throwing it, George,
I enjoyed it. I thought this was a very enjoyable match. It was. And it sets up multiple different things because the rumor mill and rumor and innuendo is that Matt Riddle will be called to the main roster imminently.
Yeah,
according to Big Daddy Dave.
Well, the validity of we could discuss the validity of Big Daddy Dave in the year of our Lord 2020 for a very long time. But that is not what this is about. I've heard similar. This is a good way to write him off. Possibly, like if that's the way that they're going with. But I
like the fact that there was a platform at the top. It was like a mix. It made it more intriguing. There was a mix of the martial art aspect from the pair of them, but there was also the professional wrestling side of it.
Yeah, like the moment they went up. The moment they went up to the roof, I was like, "This is my shit right here," because.
Yeah.
If I wanted to watch two guys beat the fuck out of each other in a cage, I'd be into UFC. And I'm not into UFC at all. I'll watch it if it's on and I'm with people that are enjoying it. I'm the kind of person who vibes off the atmosphere in a place. So like if I'm with a bunch of people that like UFC and we're watching UFC and they're enjoying it, I'm going to try and have the best time possible. But like by myself, I'm never going to seek it out. It's not really my thing. It's not watching two people beat the fuck out of each other. It's not really why I'm into pro wrestling. So I was very wary about this match. When I saw the roof to that cage, I was like, this could be interesting. When I saw them go up to the roof to the cage, I was like, now this is my shit.
This is my shit. This is where we go.
Mm-hmm.
Big spots. This is like that point. It's like big spots. Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. Couple of notes. I thought that the Showtime kick was named for Percy Watson.
Percy Watson isn't around anymore. It's fine.
I know, but like, you know, he's Showtime Percy Watson, and like Mauro called out the enziguri of the cage wall is called the Showtime kick. It's a real UFC move. Did you know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. But what the the end of this match was so brilliantly worked. Because it made Thatcher look brutal. It made him look ruthless, but it also showed Matt Riddle as that babyface that will never stop fighting. He was stuck in a rear naked choke for a while,
and then passed out,
trying to claw out, and then he succumbed to it and passed out. And that was shortly after he hit one massively lovely floating bro from the top of the cage.
100%. Also, like that angle right at the beginning of the match where Thatcher ended up bleeding from the mouth. Fake or real? Fake blood or real blood?
I don't know. We have to deliberate on this one. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't say it looked real at all, did it? It looked very...
As long as we're on the same page here. Yeah. As long as we're on the same page here. But honestly, this gets a thumbs up from me. It might even get 2 thumbs up from me. What about you?
2 thumbs up. Very entertaining match between two men who could legitimately kill each other.
Yes, 100%. Two men that could legitimately kill each other, I'm sure in real life, get on fairly well. And so they didn't. They just put on a pretend fight for our entertainment. Next item on the list is the title of this is An Obvious Story Can Be a Good One. What a dirty one. We'll talk about that at the end, however. Drake Maverick is through to the finals of the Cruiserweight tournament. George, how chuffed are you?
So happy. I pre-warned both Joe and obviously Victoria at the time was scheduled to be.
Well,
things change.
Yes.
Scheduling changes.
Yeah, she's been...
We're like wrestling too.
Hard subject to change.
Exactly. I pre-warned the both of them that if both the results I wanted happened, and that was basically the Lions Den cage match being incredible and Drake Maverick winning, then I would be rather unbearable about it because I am so invested into Drake Maverick more than I was I've been a fan of Spud since TNA. Yeah. Since he appeared in British Boot Camp with a babyface looking Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved Spud throughout all of his gimmicks, through the underdog, EC3's best friend, turning on EC3, coming to WWE, and I'm so happy for him. Yeah.
Like, honestly, from everything that I've seen of him, there's no one who deserves this more. But
that infamous clip of him coming out to
living on a prayer,
living on a prayer against Paul Robinson for Progress.
Yep. Like, let's go through the match. I've got very mixed feelings about this. Drake Maverick, an absolute banger of a triple threat, pins Jake Atlas to go to the tournament finals. However, Jake Atlas tapped out Kishida on the 2 count, and the ref didn't see. What do you make of Kishida just generally being all right with this?
I mean, Kishida was pissed when it happened. He got up and he was pissed, but he gave him his blessing, is what WWE coined it as the backstage after it. But I don't mind screwy finishes if they benefit. This screwy finish benefits because it doesn't make Drake look lucky. It makes him look smart, and it looks very tactical.
You think so? Because I think he should just I feel like he should have got a clean win.
But it's another one of those things where they book themselves into a corner again because they want to keep Kishida strong because Kishida is a fantastic talent anyway. They want to keep Jake Atlas strong because he's just arrived on the scene, and obviously Drake Maverick has got this absolute monstrous following behind him from all of us Brits and people that love him. And they booked themselves into a corner, so they had to do a screwy finish. But this will probably lead now to a triple threat for the title between Phantasma, Maverick, and Kishida at In Your House.
Well, it's interesting you say that. But we'll get to that. I hate it. I think that Kishida should have, they did the Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn finish, didn't they? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Which led to the hour-long 2 out of 3 falls match?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. Now that's my era of NXT. Know what I mean? And, Kishida just being all right with it doesn't sit right with me, Should be raging.
Yeah.
Should be raging. And I hate to sound like every wrestling fan ever, but, time him in it. Because I don't think he's that interesting right now. I'm sure he's one of the greatest technical wrestlers ever, but I never thought he was that interesting. And he left New Japan because they weren't willing to book him in an interesting way. That is, those are the rumors from Big Daddy Dave. He's coming up a lot as to why he left. And here he is in a Best of the Super Juniors analog, putting over a talent that is more over than him. Does that sound familiar? Oh, that's right.
It does.
It's his entire New Japan run.
Have you seen the video that was released on, I believe it was WWE on Fox's Instagram account?
Not on Insta.
Yes, it is.
Tell me what it is.
Oh, you don't have Instagram, do you? So you wouldn't have seen it. It's basically, have you seen Wolf of Wall Street?
I ain't leaving.
Yeah, where he goes, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking leaving. Right. They've done that, but they've dubbed Maverick's face over DiCaprio, and then they've got various NXT members throughout the crowd, and it's got Adam Cole and
that's class
and Kyle O'Reilly, but it's got Braun Strowman, which is really random. But I'm really upset that they've done.
Drake
Maverick.
Maverick.
It's his best friend, isn't it?
No, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's one of his groomsmen. It's not his best friend. His friend's EC3, but
one of his besties. But it was. But what made me laugh the most is that it had to dub out the fucking. I would have loved it if they just left it in. Kept the swear and just we're going down the route of the attitude era. Screw it.
Well, why not? I've got 2 questions. 3 actually. Who you got in the final?
I really want Drake to win it.
Okay. You really want Drake to win it?
Say again?
You really want Drake to win it?
Yeah, I really would love to see Drake win it. I'd love to see him go and go distance. But then it's like you said last week, it makes you feel like you need a shower after saying it.
Yeah, attached to that, why isn't the final to this match at In Your House?
When is the final? Is it next week?
It's next week.
Why? Why is it not In Your House? I agree, because In Your House is only 5 days after it.
Yeah. Kind of sucks, doesn't it? In my opinion, it also kind of telegraphs the ending, but, is what it is. And my final point is not even a question, it's just a statement. And that's work shoots suck. They just suck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd accept Maverick losing if we got the Phantasma stable of Los Conquistadors that we were expecting, because no matter who holds the Cruiserweight title in October, whether it's the person that wins it today, or next week, or if they win it down the line, are going to be a heel anyway, because if the plans are still to have NXT TakeOver Dublin and have Jordan Devlin defend for the unification of those 2 titles, whoever steps into Ireland with him, it could be the biggest babyface in the company. They're still going to get booed.
Yeah, that's why I think they should. I think originally they were going to go with Kishida and they didn't care, but nothing fell in their lap, and it's really, really disgusting that he sacked a bunch of people for real, but just because and
2 of them appeared on this week's NXT.
Yeah, right? Anyway, enough with my
shower.
Exactly. Enough for my moral disgust while I review the show. Let's talk about the other news. It's just in bullet points, and you can elaborate on the point or ask me what I mean. Point number one: NXT has a women's mid card. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this now. NXT has the strongest women's division of AEW, NXT, Raw, SmackDown. I want to say Ring of Honor as well.
Definitely
TNA may be just to it.
Ring of Honor definitely. Like
Raw,
the only women's division that can touch NXT's is Impact.
Impact, yeah. I agree with you.
Shout out to Impact UK. But that's generally true. I generally believe that. But like honestly, like, you know, it's super interesting. They elevated Charlotte. We'll talk about Charlotte in a second. They elevated Charlotte, and in the process, they kind of formed like a proper women's mid card. And we saw that. We saw basically all of them all at once in this one match.
I would have more than happy for them to create a mid-card women's title, because you're not getting any love from the women's tag team titles, which are meant to be defended on all three brands, because there's actually not that many tag teams in NXT other than Raquel Gonzalez and Captain Coda. So if they were to do the equivalent of the North American title for the women, I'd be well up for that. It gives even more exposure, and NXT has one of the strongest women's divisions because there is so much talent there. They can't always be in the main event scene.
That's fair. I would argue and say that there are too many belts in the WWE in general, so maybe they shouldn't go that route. I would also argue that the women's division on SmackDown is looking mighty thin. So
yeah, that's a fair point. And Raw, you only got Talia, Asuka, Kyrie, and the most unsafe human being in the world.
And Charlotte, and Liv, and Ruby Riott.
Oh yeah, you got Liv and Ruby. Now Raw's stronger. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. SmackDown is... Anyway.
If you were to book it then, Joe, who would you put from NXT onto SmackDown knowing that they could do well?
They generally put married couples together, but I would have really loved Bianca Belair on Raw, on SmackDown even.
She's on Raw though.
I know she's on Raw. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
From
NXT.
From NXT, I know. That's what I'm saying. From that pool, from SmackDown, from WrestleMania, that's where I would have gone. But if she's gone there, then Rhea Ripley needs to go to the other brand, regardless.
Yeah, Rhea would be good on SmackDown. I'd also argue for someone like Mia Yim would obviously in the married couple thing stops, but I think she'd do really well on SmackDown because she's different to the rest of the SmackDown women's roster.
Yes. However, SmackDown seems to be skewing towards it's on Fox, so it's skewing to that audience. So if you look at them. You know what?
Sorry.
Don't worry. If you look at them, we're going to talk about this next point. It's going to tie into it. Squash matches for both of DIY, but a talking point for both of those matches are the promos afterwards, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Gargano's getting a squash because he's got to get himself back over as a heel.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa's just trying to be on the same level as Karrion.
Yeah, because he squashed the same guy that Karrion did. You get it?
Yeah.
We get it. And but like the promos afterwards, we'll talk about Karrion's first. It was interesting. I didn't realise that he could talk like that.
Who? Sorry, I
Karrion.
Definitely misheard you. You said who? Karrion?
I didn't know that he could talk like that. I don't know any of his previous work, so...
No, not that I generally... I've barely followed Karrion Kross before he came to WWE. But it's a nice surprise to see a big guy like him that works as well as him that actually can cut a promo.
Yeah, like I know a little bit about Scarlett's work, So I expected her to be the mouthpiece as such, but she just kind of served as a little bit of spice to that, if you will. If you will. And now we're going to take it all the way back around to what we initially started talking about with the Garganos. Johnny Gargano, again, needs to get himself over as a heel, squashed some guy from Evolve, and then we had Mia Yim and Keith Lee basically ripping the shit out of their promo style, which you love to see.
Yeah.
And here comes the point that I was going to say. Johnny Gargano, should not be on NXT anymore.
Why?
Just no, he's done everything. It's pointless him being there. Should have gone up about 3 months ago. He should have gone up after the Worlds Collide match. After the Worlds Collide match with Mustache Mountain to SmackDown as a baby.
That was a beautiful match. Yeah. No, yeah. Thing is, he should have gone to. He should have gone up to the main roster, but he was never going to go to the main roster because he turned around and said before that he doesn't want to.
Fair enough, but now I just kind of feel like he's spinning his wheels. He's got his terrible new theme, and yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm meant to feel this way about this character, but I just kind of feel like he's been I don't really like the new. I don't like the newer. What's it called? The newer Johnny Gargano because it's weird. And that's where I was going with it. I felt like Candice could go with him. She's blonde, she's pretty, she'd be perfect for the Fox audience. And if you look at the Fox roster, that's basically all of their talent outside the main event.
Yeah, fair point.
So yeah, we talked about that. Let's see if you get this bullet point. Seems like the fat fuck versus the shoot nonce is getting the cinematic treatment.
I can get shoot nonce. No, I can't get shoot nonce. Because I thought you were going at Dream, but you're not.
I am.
Are you what? Who's fat fuck then?
Adam Cole. Watch more PWG.
Adam Cole is... Oh, see, I wouldn't have got that. I wasn't a PWG kind of guy.
Yeah, anyway, long story short, there's a long, protracted Zoom call where they insult each other for a long time, and eventually William Regal gets Adam Cole to agree to Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole at In Your House, but at a location he chooses, so that tells you it's going to be cinematic. And
in your house.
Yeah, probably in a house. And if Velveteen loses, he will never challenge for the title again.
As long as Cole is champion. As long as Cole is champion.
As long as Cole is champion. I'd love to ask Keith Carr, but at this point I don't care.
Surely this means Dream, because after his personal incident, they haven't done anything about it. They haven't punished him in any way, shape or form to his push. If Cole was to win this, Dream can't challenge it again. Oh, actually, I've had a really good booking idea.
All right.
I've had a really good booking idea. Dexter Lumis costs Velveteen Dream. Dexter Lumis beats Adam Cole and becomes the new NXT champion.
Well, all right. You had a booking idea.
Who else is...
You had a booking idea. I'll say that.
Go on. What's your booking idea? Go on.
I don't have a booking idea. I'm saying you said you had a good booking idea. I'm saying you had a booking idea.
No, it's a good booking idea. The thing is, if Cole was to lose to Dream, was to beat Dream, sorry, who else is going to step up?
I don't know.
And take the title off him?
I don't know. The winner of Finn Balor versus Punishment Martinez, or the winner of Karrion Kross versus Tommaso Ciampa, maybe. Cameron Grimes is on the roll of his life. Keith Lee might drop the the North American title to Johnny Gargano, freeing him up. There are people in the upper half of the mid card that can easily be a big problem for Adam Cole.
But
Dexter Lumis isn't there yet.
That is a fair point. If they did Adam Cole versus Damian Priest, heel versus heel, Adam Cole versus Karrion Kross, heel versus heel, Adam Cole versus Finn Balor is technically still heel versus heel.
Finn Balor is not a heel anymore.
Balor's a 20 now.
Yeah, exactly.
He tries to be a dick, but we all love it.
Yeah, exactly. No, he'll play what he needs to play for the feud. You know.
No, that's a fair point.
Play what he needs to play for the feud. I think like the obvious choice is Keith Lee if he drops it.
Yeah.
But
fair point.
Let's move on. There is one more bullet point to talk about here. And this is how you know it was a good episode of NXT because wasn't that much to talk about. We spent a lot of time talking about it. Charlotte cheats to win that tag match. So considering what we were talking about, we've been talking about like layers of like where people are positioned in the card for basically this entire review. So factoring that in, do you think that Charlotte's surprise partner has been elevated out of the aforementioned mid card I was talking about with women?
Yeah, they wanted to pull the plug on her for a while. They've wanted to pull the plug on her for a while. One thing I absolutely love is when they first announced this, that it was going to be Charlotte and a mystery opponent versus Io and Rhea. Again via Instagram, they put a picture up, and it literally just had a comment from Chelsea Green saying, "Robert Stone, book it now." And he did.
That's good use of social media.
It is very good social media. He did. But I agree with you. Like, they wanted to pull the plug on Chelsea for a while. They've just tried to figure out how to do it. They tried it once and it didn't go very well. They brought Robert Stone in and it's worked. Yeah.
Like, and what did you make of the match itself? Because the match itself, I enjoyed. I enjoyed very much.
It had, through gritted teeth, one of the most, because I will always be on the side that Becky's better than Charlotte, but through gritted teeth of one of the best wrestlers in the world in Charlotte. No, I'm joking. It's not through gritted teeth. She is great. She is amazing. And then one of two of the most hottest up and coming stars to life in general in Rhea and Chelsea, and then someone that made their life in Japan and has just continued to dominate in Io. Four women that are absolutely fantastic.
I'd say that Io is one of the best wrestlers in the world, male or female, and then Charlotte. Like, because Io's done it in Japan and she's doing it here, you know what I mean? Like, but you know what?
I love her.
You know what? Much like a lot of things, George, we're going to have to agree to disagree.